someone said they did not free the slaves, they made slaves free. Very unsettling, I know. I believe that there are people who were slaves in the past who genuinely felt like there was nothing wrong with slavery. Who felt like that's just how life is and nothing has to change. Why do you think slavery existed for that long? Isn't it because some people were okay being slaves? And those who weren't okay with being slaves truly did fight against slavery, and they were unalived. That's why Ye said slavery was a choice. I know sometimes that doesn't sound right. But we need to be honest with ourselves as people. There are things that we actually accept that we know ain't good, and we don't realize that by accepting these things, we are also implying that these things are good, these things are okay. There are a lot of people who really hate their jobs, but who wake up every morning and go to work, who are having children that they know will have to work because they don't have money to maybe start businesses for them. They hate their jobs. They feel like they're in a trap, but they don't mind having children. They don't mind sending their children to school so that they will become workers like them, because they won't really have a choice. I've worked so many jobs in my life because my mom and dad didn't have money, so of course I had to work. And in South Africa, it's not easy to get a permanent job. Like, it's really not easy. In fact, you know what companies do in South Africa? When you're fresh out of university, because they target those who are fresh out of university. So yeah, when you're fresh out of university, they will give you a learnership or an internship so that they will pay you less. You'll be doing a lot of work. They'll say that you're learning, you are learning to do the job, so you do a lot of work while they pay you less because you are learning. They are actually doing you a favor because they're teaching you the job, right? Then they don't give you a permanent position. Like, after you have learned, they're like, yeah, that's it, you've learned. You must go out and look for a job. But every company is doing that, so they don't have to employ they don't have to employ anyone, so they're saving a lot of money, because they'll have like 10 interns and they're paying them the salary that they will be paying one person if they fill that position, right? So they have 10 people who have a lot of energy, who want to work, who want to have a better future, and they'll work their asses off because they also think that they might get a permanent position, so they compete. But after they've competed, they'll be like, yeah, all of you gotta go because we have taught you the job. And then the cycle continues. Being poor sucks, man. They'll take advantage of you. That's why I genuinely don't understand how people who are broke are having children. Like, don't you care about your children? Don't you feel pain when your children are being used? Because what can they do, man? Are you saying that they must do illegal stuff to at least make some money? It's not easy to make money in this world. It's not easy. And if you're not making money, you're going to suffer, because you were created to want certain things, right? Yeah, you want to have friends, you want to have relationships, you want to live in a comfortable place, you want to travel, you want to have fun. And in this world, you gotta have money to be able to get these things. You want a relationship, you gotta have some money. Whether you're a man or a woman, you gotta have some money. As a woman, you gotta be able to take care of yourself, dress in a way that will attract men. As a man, you gotta be able to, provide. So really, having a child at this point really feels like creating a slave. So yeah, I've worked so many jobs in my life, because I couldn't get a permanent position. It didn't matter how good I was. It doesn't matter. Especially when it comes to government jobs. It doesn't matter how good you are. They're not looking for people who work hard. They're just looking for people that are well connected. If your father is known and they can benefit from your father, or your father is able to talk to some people that can employ you, you're getting the job. It's not about how effective you are. It's not about how capable you are. I've worked so many jobs. And I remember every time when I would wake up in the morning, my heart would be filled with sadness. Deep sadness. I think I would feel the same way that a person who's going to jail feels, but they'll feel much worse, but it's kind of like the same feeling, because you're like, damn, it's only 5 a.m. now. I'm going to work and I'm gonna knock off at 4, so I'm going to be in that office for how many hours? I'm gonna have to be listening to my boss. I'm gonna have to be listening to my supervisor. I'm going to be working with this person, and I'm going to be doing a lot of shit that I do not want to do, and I'm not even making enough money to feel like it's worth it. It just feels like slavery. Like, what can I do? Like, I'm not making enough money. During lunch, I can't even afford the kind of food that I want. I don't even have the kind of clothes that I want. I don't feel good. But I don't really have a choice, right? So my heart will be filled with sadness because of that. But I'll still go to work. And whenever my contract ended, I would feel sad, because I got no other plans. I don't know what to do. How do I make money? I don't know how to make money. It's not easy to make money, especially if you grow up in a village. There are no opportunities. If you're broke, you're just broke. And the fact that it's not easy to get to get a job, she'll tell you something. So we are bringing children into a world where they have to fight to have a job. and we're okay with that. Send them to school, they compete, they don't even work together. Isn't that a red flag? See, as humans, we survived in the past by working together. But now it's every man for himself. We're not really working together. No, that kid that is slow, everyone is laughing at that kid. Everyone is calling that kid stupid. Everyone can guarantee that that kid doesn't have a future because that kid is slow. We don't figure out what can work for that kid. No one gives a shit. We're competing. Memorize a lot of things that does not matter. And then they give you a paper and say, yeah, you qualified to get this job. You qualified to get this position. And they tell you what to do. Because here's the thing. Most of the jobs that people get, they don't need to go to school for these kind of jobs. Right? Like you could do these kind of jobs even if you didn't go to school at all. So ask yourself, why do we gotta go to school for how many years? In South Africa, it's 13 years, right? Primary school, high school. I mean, preschool, primary school, high school. That's like 14 years, I think. If you fail, you could do 20. And after that, you gotta go to university, where you're gonna have to pay a lot of money, wasting your time. And then when you're finished with your studies, you have to look for a job. And then they give you internships and learnerships. And after that, you have all the experience, but you're not getting a job because there's too many people who are looking for jobs. Doesn't that sound like a scam to you? Even if you do get a job, are you going to be happy? Are you going to enjoy yourself? Or are you going to be miserable? But because everyone is looking for a job, you're like, at least I got something that everyone is looking for, you know? At least I'm making this amount of money a month. But you're not happy, you're not enjoying your life. You think slaves enjoy their lives? Or they're just like, you know what, I can eat, you know, I have shelter. Even if I wake up in the morning and do a job that I do not love, you know, I at least I have I sleep in a room, you know, there's a roof above me. At least I have clothes. At least, you know, they give me free food. You know, feels like they're giving you free food. But you're suffering. You're living a life that is totally meaningless. Is that what you came for in this planet, to live a life that's totally meaningless? 9 to 5 is the biggest scam ever. Because everyone does not see that it's a scam. Everyone thinks that it's okay. Everyone willingly, or let me not say willingly, but it seems like most people sign up to be slaves. I guess I'm liking now because at home I have a farm. It does make some money. I'm in the Uber business, so I'm able to make some money. I'm also able to make some money on YouTube. So that helps, because that means that I don't have to, like, I'm able to do some of the things that I want to do. I'm able to go to the gym when I want to go to the gym. These businesses are easy to run even if you're doing the things that you want to do. So that's better. So I kind of forgot what it's like to have to wake up every day and go to work, and you don't have a choice. One of my guys just got fired. I don't know if I told him that he should go to his boss and he must try to have a conversation with him. But he couldn't make it to work the other day because he was sick. I think it was Monday. He was sick. He went to a doctor and got a sick note. Went to work on Tuesday and they told him to go back home. So I don't know. It's like it sucks. It sucks. You're not free. You gotta go to work. If you don't go to work, they will fire you. Even if you're sick, it depends on the kind of job that you have. At least if you work for government, they'll give you a lot of warnings before they fire you. And even if they do fire you, they'll give you some money. But it sucks. It gets to a point where this feels worse than slavery, right? Because it's considered to be okay by almost everyone. Your parents think it's okay. Your grandparents thought it was okay. Your friends think it's okay. Your teachers think it's okay. The people who are not supposed to think it's okay, they think it's okay. And even if they don't think it's okay, but they have to pretend as if it's okay, because if they don't pretend as if it's okay, they can lose their jobs. When I worked as a teacher, I remember teachers will complain every day. If maybe there wasn't so much work at school that day, they would want to be released early and they would complain. They would hate the principal. Like, why is this person not letting us go? There's no work now. What are we doing here? They'll complain. Do you genuinely think that if people were doing the kind of work that they want to do, they would complain? If they are kept there longer than they feel like they should be kept. Like, people want to be where they want to be. It gets to a point where they are annoying, Like, if this whole thing was working, people would want to wake up and go and work and go to work and then work more hours than they're supposed to work because they're having fun. And that would be good, right? You find that people willingly go to work. They don't go to work because they're forced. Now, a lot of people this January are actually angry because they had a great time in December and now they have to go to work. And this month is a bit slow. You don't have a lot of money because you spend a lot of money in December. You got a lot of bills to pay your children. Tuition fees, you gotta buy uniform, books. Some are going to live in places that are far from you, so you gotta pay for their rent, food, all of that. And you don't really have money. So this is a stressful month. So people ain't feeling good right now. So they're stressing every day when they wake up and go to work. They ask themselves, what's the point? Because they don't really have money. What's the point of waking up every morning and going to work if you don't really get enough to be able to pay your bills and not stress? Because you shouldn't be stressing about paying your kids tuition fees, buying them books, buying them clothes, paying rent. For like the way that we work, we shouldn't be stressing about that, because people work, bro. People really, really work. I've always felt sorry for people who work as cashiers. And when I'm going to buy something, you find that there's a queue and that person has to scan all the items that these people are holding. And they'll have to do that maybe for 3-4 hours without getting a break. Then they given at least an hour to go have lunch, and then they come back, do the same thing, and they go back home. Like, I mean, you don't even have time to think about yourself, to rediscover yourself, you know, understand yourself, process your emotions. It really does get to a point where all you think about is work, all you dream about is work, and your life revolves around that. And you don't like the experience. Your boss is on your ass, watching you. Hey, you slow. Why did you treat that customer that way? The customer is always right, even if the customer is full of shit. You're not supposed to express yourself. You're not supposed to feel. You're supposed to be like a robot. They'll say, oh yeah, you're a good employee. You basically have to pretend the whole day. You could be going through something very tough, but you have to pretend to be okay the whole day. Like, nah, man. And I think most jobs suck. It's not just being a cashier. Like, most jobs really, really do suck, because we are not really working for ourselves as a society. Like, we're not doing the kind of jobs that make society better. We're doing the kind of jobs that is making this system of control stronger. Like, we are making it easy for slave masters to keep us enslaved. Like, it will get to a point where it's impossible to not be a slave. Like, we're making that easier, but we are actually agreeing to become slaves and to not have a way out, to not be able to free ourselves. You know, children that are being born now, do you think it will be easier for them to free themselves? It will be easier for them to start their own businesses that will actually become successful? There are big companies that control everything, that own everything. So in South Africa, for example, if you have a company that is big enough, it'll be easier for you to start a new company, right? You can use the money that you're making from that company to actually start a new company. So if someone is starting from the bottom and they don't have a company, of course they ain't going to be successful, because it takes money to make money. You don't mind if you're not making profit because you have a lot of money. So if I start a business and I don't have a lot of money, I need profit to sustain my business. But if a person who owns a big company starts a company, they don't they don't care if that company doesn't make profit for 2 years, because they're making money in the other company, and they're using that money to fund their business. So, that means that my business is going to fail. My business is guaranteed to fail. We're supporting a system that we actually hate, and we don't even see that we're doing that. We don't complain. We don't stand up for ourselves. We don't say no. Like, we feel like we're defeated already, or we feel like this is okay. There's nothing okay about working a 9 to 5. I'm not saying people shouldn't work a 9 to 5, but I mean, people do what they have to do, I guess, but not that many people love their jobs. And people who love their jobs are people who are still new. Like, if you just got employed this year, or maybe late last year, you're gonna enjoy your job, because maybe you've never had a job before, or you've been looking for a job for a while. So because you got employed, it feels good, right? You look at your friends, you're like, ish. Because in South Africa, more than 60% of young people are unemployed. And even those that are employed are not really earning that much. Just something to just stay alive, so that they don't go insane. But they're not really earning that much. Imagine going to school for like 20 years only to earn just enough to pay for transport, pay for food, for shelter, and that's it. Everything else you get on credit. Can't afford clothes, you gotta have a credit card. You find yourself owing the system. I remember I used to have a credit card. When my job ended, when my contract ended, I couldn't pay the amount that was left. I think on the credit card I owed how much? Like 1,500. I ended up getting blacklisted. At the time I was owing more than 10,000. Like, damn. It's not like it matters to them that you don't have a job anymore. You owe, and you don't really have much. So you gotta pay. You gotta figure out a way to pay. And they'll call you like crazy if you don't pay. They'll call you like crazy, and you're gonna have a bad credit. And you're not gonna be able to buy things that you need in the future because of that, because you probably not even gonna be making money in the future. So you're still gonna have to rely on credit. It sucks. It's all a trap, man. So if you have some money, it's good to try to start your own business. If you start a business and it actually starts working, you're not really going to want to have a job again. Even the jobs that you think you want to have, even if you're not making that much, that's the thing. If you have a business and you are able to make some money and it's not a kind of business that's too demanding for you, Even if you're not making a lot, you're not gonna really wanna get a job. Even if you've always wanted to have a job. Because you would see how free you are. I mean, even if you have to work hard, but it's not the same as working for a company or working for another person. It's not the same. Because you're working for yourself. You have a vision and you know that things can change, things can become better. But if you're working for a company, you're just gonna hope that you get a higher position at some point, but even if you do get a higher position, you know that you're not really gonna be making that much. Like you're not really gonna have that kind of vision that keeps you excited when you're working. You see the problem? So if you are your own boss, at least you know that anything is possible. Maybe one day your business is gonna be big. Plus, having a job, I think, teaches people to be obedient. Like you become very obedient. At least I've never been obedient. Like I'm naturally not obedient. I tend to just do my own thing or do things my own way. I like being creative. When I'm working, I like being creative, doing things my own way. But your supervisor and your boss are always going to be watching you like, hey, how is this person working? Is this person doing their work the way that we're saying they must do their work? But I've always been lucky because people have always felt like I'm intelligent, so they're intimidated. So even if their boss is a bit intimidated, so they think, yeah, maybe you know what you're doing. So I don't complain very much. But it's really better to start your own thing. I think in the long run, especially if you're still young, like in the long run would probably pay off. If I had to start all over again, I wouldn't even have went to university at all. I would actually start a business, like if I had to start all over again. Because I think there's a lot that you can teach yourself and that can actually help you than if you are, relying on education. I mean, you can educate yourself, let me put it that way. And you can come up with ideas that can help you. You see, the more you try to come up with a business idea, the more your mind opens itself up to ideas that can actually make you money. Like you're training your mind to think in a way that can make you money.
Yeah, Commander.
A lot of people, when you chill with them, all they talk about is their work. They don't have ideas. You see that if they lose their jobs, that's it. Even if they give them money, right? Because if you're working for government, let's just say you've been working for government for 20 years. If you decide to quit, they're going to give you a lot of money, but you find that the person doesn't know what to do with the money because they never got time to think about business. They never train their mind to because here's the thing. Everything seems impossible until you focus on it enough. Right? Everything seems impossible until you focus on it enough. If you've never produced music before, and I told you that I can teach you how to, you'd think it's impossible, you know. I open Cubase and be like, okay, let's start. You'd be like, there's no way I'm gonna learn how to do that. It's probably gonna take me years. No, it's not gonna take you years. It'll probably take you 2 weeks if you're serious. So when you focus on something, ideas start coming into your mind relating to what you're focusing on. That's what I've realized. That's like your mind is very powerful. If you focus on something, ideas they come naturally. Even if you're not trying to come up with ideas, but they just come on their own, and you're like, whoa. I don't know that many people who have been able to start their own businesses who decided to go back to having a job. I don't know that many people. People who maybe were successful, not really having like a 9-to-5 like that, but who ended up having a 9-to-5. It's people maybe who became very successful like as artists or actors, you know. But you know, the game keeps on changing. If you're a dope artist, doesn't mean that you're gonna be a dope artist forever. If you're an actor, doesn't mean that you're gonna get roles forever. Like new actors are coming now, especially in countries like South Africa. There's been so many actors who have lost their jobs and who ended up, you know, working a 9-to-5. The actors that were smart started their own business. There's this guy, and everyone was laughing at him. He was a famous actor. Now he's an Uber driver. He's making money. He's doing his own thing. I mean, even though he's an Uber driver, he is making money, and chances are he has other businesses. So that's a good thing. You know, he probably enjoys his job. So we got to be business minded and not allow the matrix to control us the way that it is controlling us. It really does suck to work a job that you hate with people that you probably don't like and who probably don't like you. And you have to work with them. That's what sucks. I remember when I was still a student and maybe there were some students that I didn't like or that I had a problem with or that had a problem with me. It was suck having to be in the same class with them, and I had to be in the same class with them. I didn't have a choice, you know. I have to be in the same class. I think it's the same feeling like when you and your co-workers are not getting along. Maybe they're gossiping about you, they have a problem with you, they don't want you working with them, but what choice do you have? You have to work with them. You have to find a way to make it work. Even if it's a toxic work environment, you still gotta find a way to make it work. That sucks. You cannot tell me that that's not a scam. People ain't supposed to find themselves with people that they do not like every single day. You live with people that you don't like every single day. You don't have a way out. You could ask to be moved to another department. You're still gonna find people that you don't like in that department or who don't like you in that department. Some people just don't like you. Period. Like for no fucking reason, bro. I've worked in so many different places and there are people everywhere I've worked, there've always been people who liked me, who didn't like me for no reason. I mean, some of them ended up liking me. You find that you know, a person doesn't like you at first and after 3 months now they like you, now you're best friends, but there was no reason. Like you didn't say anything, you didn't do anything. Maybe you remind them of their ex, maybe you remind them of their bully, maybe you remind them of someone that they used to hate. Do you know that people can hate you because of that? Like you remind them of someone who has done something bad to them. because you kind of look like that person or you talk like that person. That happens. There's this lady that used to not like me because I'm Tonga, and she had a bad experience with a Tonga. Like, a baby daddy was Tonga, so I was the only Tonga where I was working, and she hated me because of that. She told this other girl that I used to chill with that she hates me. Like, that girl asked her because she knew that she hated me. Like, why do you hate Kantle so much? She's like, I hate Tonga people. You know, I hate Tonga people. My baby daddy is Tonga. If I can tell you how he treated me. Some people can hate you just because of your tribe, because of where you come from, because of who you remind them of. So even if you are perfect, even if you are good to everyone, even if you are kind to everyone, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to be hated. You're still going to have people who will try to bring you down. If you work hard, you're still going to have people who hate you because they are threatened by you. See, there's no way around it. You work very hard, they're gonna hate you because they're threatened by you. Even if you don't work very hard, if people see your potential, they'll be threatened by you. You know, even if you don't really have potential, those who are at your level will be threatened by you. Like, you know, me and this person, there isn't that much difference. You know, they can, if they were to select someone, will they select me or will they select them to get a higher position? Because me and this person are kind of like the same. Some people will hate you because, well, you can't do your work and they have to work with you. Because maybe you got employed in the wrong company. Whatever the reason is, it's not easy to get the kind of job that you want, the kind of job that you need in South Africa. I think it's getting worse in every country now. It's just not easy to get a job, even if you qualify. So you hate going to work and you have to wake up early in the morning. There's traffic. No wonder people get angry, you know. When I watch a video of like people fighting in this, on the road, I laugh. I think it's a bit funny though. That two grown adults who decide to fight give people a free show in the street. Just because of something very stupid. You find that there was not even an accident. Then they decide to get out of their cars and start fighting. And no one gives a shit. They'll just watch and take videos. Like, no one gives a shit. If you're gonna fight on the road, no one is stopping the fight. They'll just watch the fight and laugh. People are angry. So yeah, you wake up feeling empty, you have to drive, there's traffic. You get to work, your boss is angry at you because you're late. There's some work you didn't finish yesterday. You gotta start with the work that you didn't finish and then start working. And at the time, your girlfriend is just cheated on you, so you're still processing that. You know, it sucks, or your marriage is falling apart. You don't know what to do, you know, or you suspect that your partner is like you have problems. You have your own problems, and you gotta focus on work. That's not good for your mental health. No wonder many people think they have mental illnesses. Like, no, we're just doing things that we don't want to do. And we don't know how to set ourselves free because we weren't taught what we needed to learn to be able to set ourselves free. You see? We were basically trapped by our parents because they knew nothing about the world. They just did what they were told, and they had children even though they didn't have money. So now you gotta find your way in the world, and that's not easy because you're competing with a lot of people, right? There's many people that are being born now that you'll be competing with. That is why When people get paid, they go and buy alcohol. Like, they've been through a lot, they just want to have some fun. And it's almost impossible to have fun now if you're not drunk. So people decide to just drink. Be like, hey, what can I do? Let me just drink and go out and have fun. And they drink and go out and have fun. And wake up the next day regretting because they spend a lot of money. So they no longer have enough money to pay their bills throughout the month. So now they stress. Wake up with a terrible hangover. Surprised that you spend a lot of money. So it's a scam, man. We're not, like, for the work that people do every day, they're supposed to be paid a lot of money. Right? They're supposed to be paid a lot of money. To wake up every day and go to work, bro, for a whole year. I mean, of course, in some companies, they can give you a leave, 30 days, I guess. But to work for more than 250 days a year, 8 hours a day, that's a lot. You must be getting paid a lot of money, like a lot of money. You mustn't stress about money, actually. Working the way that you work, you mustn't even stress about money. You must have enough money to buy the things that you want. You only stress about money if you are dead. Like, if your lifestyle is just that bad and you're spending a lot, but a lot of people who are stressing about money, they have a good lifestyle, they don't really spend that much, they're just not earning enough for the kind of work that they do, for the hours that they put in. So you can't tell me that 9 to 5 is not a scam. It is a scam. We just don't know what to do as a collective, because it seems like we've already lost. Like, we shouldn't have accepted this system in the beginning. Now the system is so powerful that it traps us in every possible way, and we don't know what to do to free ourselves. Our children are born into bondage. And we have allowed that. Those who came before us have allowed that. It's a trap. Now, a lot of people who work very, very hard, these are the people who don't get paid that much. Like, those who are working shitty jobs and who are supposed to work very hard, those who are supposed to be at work at a certain time. And I remember when I was still working for the Department of Agriculture, those who had shitty jobs, like those who had to clean, they had to be on time for real. And they were getting paid peanuts. Those who had good jobs, those who were earning real money, who had big cars, they didn't necessarily have to be on time, and they could say they're sick and not go to work for a week or two. But those who were cleaning, they didn't have that luxury, and they weren't earning much. Even if they were feeling sick, they didn't have a choice. They had to work. They couldn't just sit in an office and do nothing. But those who were earning a lot of money, they could sit in an office and do nothing. They could decide to leave, and their co-workers will think they went to work while they actually went home. Even though I was an intern, I was actually able to do my own things without telling my supervisor, because they'll think, oh, I'm still working with someone else, because it's a big department. So you could chill the whole day doing nothing and they think you're doing something. It's a crazy world that we live in. Keep your eyes open. Thank you.